Casio have just re-released an old cult icon, but is it what we really wanted? Let's get into it. Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. And today, yes, we are talking about a
Casio!
Casio have brought out another reinterpretation of a long-lost icon that a lot of Casio fans have been waiting for quite some time. And we are talking about a watch that was first released in 1985, the AE200W, most commonly known as the TwinGraph. It's amazing how far Casio had come in their watch game. These TwinGraphs are everything I love about Casio. This retro futuristic design has been deemed suitable for an injection of reinterpretation and brought back to life in 2023. But is this reinterpretation what we were looking for? Are you Casio ready? Let's go! And ladies and gentlemen, here is the LF-20W. And when you see this for the first time, you're thinking, cool! It's only after that feeling has worn off, do you realise you're sort of left with a bit of feeling, you know? I'll talk about that more in a minute. But the main characteristics of the TwinGraph was that we had an AE digital screen in the top left and then a digital number screen in the bottom. Top right, we have a circular sort of animation, goes up and down in 10 seconds. Pretty cool. It's like I've got a little sonar on my wrist. And just below that animation, we've got another screen with the day and the date. Straight away, I'm loving the fact we've got a seconds hand ticking away, obviously in sync with the seconds on the bottom screen. And what with the pizza segments coming and going in the top right, there's quite a lot for your eyes to look at. The screen is protected by your usual acrylic crystal. If you ever do get a scratch on it, there's always Polywatch to help you. But apart from the multi-animated screen, the rest of my thoughts are a bit negative.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
For those of you that don't know, I own a lot of Casios, and this has to be the first one I've really noticed it on. But when you look straight on at this watch, the digital screen pretty much fades away. It's only when you turn it at an angle does it become clear. And I'm sorry, but in 2023, that is a big... Just a quick example, I put it up next to my F91W. You tell me what looks the clearest. It's a very monochromatic looking watch, a very dour, very stripped back. It's not your typical Casio look. In actual fact, this watch feels like it's been stripped away from a lot of the fun of Casio. There's no play on colours with the blues, reds and golds. The boring doesn't stop there either because the strap is very... It is the simplest looking strap you can get. It's quite long too, and considering the diameter is only 37 millimeters, why the heck they made the strap long, I don't know. But it is one of the plainest, most uninspiring straps you can get on the market. Let me put it up against my CA53W, which is my favorite Casio of all time. It doesn't take much to make a strap look interesting, and I think this is another big letdown on this new release. On the upside, this thing is made with bioplastic. Vegetable and seed oils make this plastic, which lowers Casio's carbon footprint, and I'm all for that. This watch is water resistant to 30 meters. Remember, if a Casio says WR on it, it usually means it's the least water resistant watch they have in their catalogue. Splash proof, rain proof. I definitely wouldn't go swimming with this. The module inside this new watch is a 3551. The battery's going to last you about 3 years, so long as you don't always push that light button. On the light, well, it's an amber LED. There is a lot of screen to illuminate, and me personally, I think it does a bit of a rubbish job. Casio have decided to stop making their electroluminescent screens for their budget watches. Well, I think that is a bad move. Anyway, I do like the symmetry of the two pushers either side of this watch. The features include a world time with over 48 cities to choose from, 5 alarms, countdown timer, and a stopwatch. And I particularly love what the animation dial does when you transition from mode to mode. Back at the home screen, if you push the bottom right pusher, you have access to 4 time zones. And something I've learned that no one else has talked about, if you keep your finger on the bottom right pusher, you can have those 4 time zones change every 2 seconds, which I think is fun. Another thing to note is that when you are using the stopwatch and the countdown timer, you've always got the time being displayed in the top left, which is definitely handy for me.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and this looks pretty good. It is a small watch, but I'm used to the Casio F91W, the W80, and a lot of the budget Casios around this price point. This watch costed me £29, excluding postage and packaging, and it's not a bad price, especially for the features that are included in this watch. It's when you put this watch in between another two Casio icons, because with those two, you understand why a 40-odd-year-old man still loves buying digital watches. The two on the outside are retro to hell, aren't they? The colours, the design. It brings me back to a time when turkey drummers, chips and beans were a healthy staple kids meal.
The good old days.
This new release, even though the screen is cool, it's been stripped away of all the good bits that Casio do well. There's no character to it. The same thing happened when they made the CA53W in all the different colours. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I would have loved Casio to make something like this. I mean, this is fantastic. We go nuts for this. Bring back a watch, give us some retro text and colours, and we'll buy them all. So yeah, you can get loads of colours of the CA53W and the F91. But I guess what I wanted was a signature one design with all the Casio retro bells and whistles on it for us oldies to enjoy. And unfortunately, Casio have just gone straight down the fashion route, getting the young whippersnappers involved. Ooh. There's another annoying thing about this watch.
The strap's wobbly.
We got an 18mm thick strap that goes into this F91W, right? And it fits very nice and snug. Now, the width of this LF20 is 16mm. The strap looks even smaller, so it doesn't fit snug to the case, and it's wobbly. I've never had that on a budget Casio, I've got to admit. Also, when you've got a strap on a brand new Casio that is plainer than an F91W's, you've got to ask some questions. Right, so yes, although well done Casio for bringing out another reinterpretation of a long lost icon we've been waiting for you to make again. But unlike the A100 or the AQ800 that I reviewed in the past months, which I love, this LF20W has left me thinking, I don't think I'm going to wear it. And that is a shame, because this is a Casio. I mean, what am I thinking? But it's just, you know, lacking something. Pizzazz. It's not giving me vibes of Casio. And you know what? I might as well be wearing a skmee. Here it is, my wife's thoughts on the LF20W. I don't mind this one. Reminds me of a lot of Windows. Very cheap, very light and very plain, but the screen is something to look at, isn't it? I've shown the wife probably about 80 Casios, and the one I don't particularly like, she likes. Duh. I'd love to know your thoughts of this new reinterpretation. Have Casio bypassed us enthusiasts and gone straight to the young whippersnappers for the fashion watches? Because that's what I think, you know? As always, it's been amazing having you on this journey, and if I've got you for a bit longer, this one, oh, the journey on here is magnifique. Get on there, go on, click it, it's great. Go on, get on this show, it's brilliant. Click it, come on, click it.